Hey everybody, my name's Steve Courier, brewer for SLO Brew here in San Luis Obispo, California, Central Coast. Stoked to be a part of this great Forbidden Beer Fest. I hope that drinking beer isn't forbidden, because I'm gonna drink some beer. So I've been brewing for a long time for SLO Brew, actually. Home brewing since the 80s. Crazy, I'm almost, oh wait, I don't wanna tell my age. I'm old. Been in the industry for close to 30 years now. Started brewing at SLO Brew in the late 80s. Oh my gosh. Did a stint with Firestone Walker for over a decade and was lucky enough to come back to SLO Brew as they kind of went through a revitalization and opened up a big production brewery from a little 10-barrel pub downtown to a big 30-barrel production brewery with all kinds of fun stuff, distilleries and event centers, live music, maybe someday again, soon. Yes, and I am just a happy brewer living on the Central Coast. So yeah, drinking some tiki-inspired beers, which is super fun style to explore nowadays. Everyone's into the tropical. That was a great theme to pick, and you don't necessarily think of a Hefeweizen as being tropical. Usually you think of IPAs and hoppy beers. We kind of went another direction. A Hef is a great base for fruit. We think that it's got the body to support all that, kind of counterbalance a lot of the acidity. We also like the banana esters that come from the Hef yeast, because we feel like banana is a nice kind of mellow fruit to kind of uphold everything else. And then we just get to have fun with all the fruits that we infuse. So, you know, POG, obviously very tropical. We do a blood orange, we do a mango, and we've kind of embraced our new fruity theme, our fruity lifestyle here. So we've kind of expanded into, we just did our first kettle sour. I know we're kind of late adapters on that, but we figured that was a great another avenue to embrace fruit. So we're trying to do kettle sours now. We're teaming up with Glean Slow, which is part of the food bank, and we're gonna actually go and pick some fresh local fruit and do our first local fruit beer. So we're really embracing the whole tropical fruity thing and really running with it. And this is a great example of that. I guess I should try some with you. Yeah, let's drink some. Get rid of that thing. Oh my gosh, right away I get all that almost like little bit of rindy tropical guava. I get a lot of guava off that. And it's really, yeah, it's almost like a little pithy too. It feels like I'm biting into a fruit. I mean, it actually does feel like that, which is fun. This whole squeeze line, I tried to actually brand it as a style of beer. One year at GABF, I kept saying, oh, it's a squeeze beer. Like trying to get it like, oh, a squeeze beer is a Hefe that you put a bunch of fresh fruit into. So I was actually trying to develop that, but it didn't really catch on. So now it's just our brand. But the whole idea is that we're using fresh fruit, real fresh fruit. It's not extracts or anything like that. So we really get these vibrant colors and flavors and aromas that I think is really indicative of this style of beer, just that fresh fruit. And I think it's really starting to kind of blow up too. Like you're seeing all this fruity seltzers, I think is kind of an offshoot of that. And now you're even starting to see these, what do they call them, smoothie seltzers? which is even more an offshoot of that. It's just crazy all the fruit that's going around these days, and we're really proud that we're using fresh fruit, and it's real. Officially, the vibe of the brewery is surfer cowboy. So that's more of a marketing angle. Now, if you were to look at like what products we're producing and look at now, it's everything. We do everything. So I've been brewing for a long time, and if people are familiar with Firestone Walker, they are very pure. They're very kind of old school. I mean, they're starting to embrace more of the new school ethos, but I came from that school. Very old school, very pure. Don't put a lot of stuff in it. Be creative, but not to the point where you're being creative for being creative's sake. It's more like, why are we doing this? Does it serve a purpose? Not just because it looks cool on a beer menu. So I was kind of a late adapter to a lot of these things, so I got kind of pulled into it, and I kind of feel like so I'm a big music lover, and I've gone through this with bands before where I'll hear a band and I'll just kind of write them off and be like, not really for me. And then, I'll kind of hear a couple songs here and there, and I'll start to get more into it, and suddenly I'm a fan. And I don't know what that dynamic is, but I kind of relate that to beer and where we're at today. Because, man, we're doing a lot of crazy stuff. We're doing seltzers, we're doing micheladas, we're doing fruit-infused hefts. We do, kettle sours. I talked about that before. That's not that crazy, but we are definitely expanding into basically anything. Like now I feel like game for anything. Like, shoot, I don't know. What's the next? Ooh. I don't know about the smoothie seltzer thing, but I guess, maybe if I have a couple and I'll start to like it, and next thing you know, I'll be a fan. I don't know, but I'm open to it. So as far as like where we're at now, man, I feel like we just want to do a lot, and just keep it fun, really. Keep it fun for us. I happen to live at the beach, which is dreamy. It's just a lifelong goal. So I'm from this area originally. San Luis Obispo is about 10 minutes from the coast. I'm a surfer, and really I've been working all my life to get to the coast and to live that beach lifestyle. And I did it like a couple years ago. Very lucky. It took a long time, and it's hard work. So I get to sit on the beach and drink beer a lot, and I feel really lucky. And it's funny, the more I go out and the more I explore flavors and different other breweries offerings, the more I come back to basically my staple, old school West Coast IPA. That's really where I'm at. And as much as I like try to get into East Coast IPAs or session IPAs or brutes or whatever, I always just come back to a nice classic West Coast IPA. I don't think I'm ever gonna change. I think I've been doing it for so long now that I've kind of not given up. I'm still gonna try other flavors, but I know I'm always gonna come back to the West Coast IPA. So yeah, me on the beach, at home, West Coast IPA, loving it. Thanks everyone for joining us for this awesome event. Thanks to Forbidden Beer Festival. And if you're ever in San Luis Obispo, California, come join us for a beer. Cheers. Hey, I found this. Were you looking for it?